Stay tuned to the end of this video to a word for our patrons. Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Talk FGO Wanted, the show where we let you know if you want that 5-star. Today we are concluding the Summer Jams with our third short Wanted. It's going to be on Summer Skahakskadi. So this is not going to be our normal format, but we are going the speed. I want to get this video recorded in a certain amount of time before other things, so we're going. It's not our normal format. If you want a deeper dive into Scotty, it's like literally our third most popular video editor. You should have no trouble finding it. Literally go to my channel page right now. There's one at the top that is most popular videos. Wanted Scotty is like number 3. Anyway, we're schmovin'. Okay, so Skak Scotty, which is actually written with the F symbol, so it probably should be pronounced Scuffy, but nobody writes it that way, so we're gonna say Scotty, because that's how you write it. She's an SSR ruler. Also, completely unrelated trivia, but the F letter, or the voiced dental fricative, that's the D-like letter, but with a squiggle, that was used interchangeably with the sound thorn letter in English, but fell out of favor until thorn. But then thorn was replaced by manually typing TH as a die character by the printing press. F or DH written sound as a single letter is usually transliterated as just D. So it should be pronounced Skahak Skathi and not Skafach Scatty. But, we'll make a allowance because I know most of you guys write it Scotty because that's how you transliterate that letter, and most people pronounce it Scotty out loud. It's one of those things where, like, if people wanted to be, if experts wanted to be better, they should do the thing that the printing press did and just get rid of that F letter and write it as a TH in modern English character sets. But, I don't know, for some reason there's this weird insistence on spelling with classical phonetic characters even when we're typing in a different language, so here we are. It's like using X's in lots of different languages that do have a couple different sounds. Anyway, trivia about alphabets aside, Scotty has a very similar stat line to the recently released Ruler Moriarty, which makes sense if you think about it. And so is kind of in the middle of the attack HP curve. Rulers in general tend to be more disposed towards HP and rely on their neutral damage to make up some ground in attack, but Summer Scotty should be kind of in the middle of those two extremes. She's not quite as high attack as some other ones, but she's also nowhere near as high HP as, like, a John, Anyway, she's QQA Bubba. That's quick arts, buster. Solid hit counts and high NP gain to make up for the fact that she has one arts card. It's 0.78, I think, is on the screen right now. It's 0.7 something. And her NP is, drumroll please. I would actually do a drumroll, but there's no guarantee you'd hear it after the audio editing. Anyway, it's AoE quick. Yes, I know, it's funny. Her original NP was still arts. Anyway, her NP, which is damaging, by the way, in case you couldn't tell by me saying AoE, it reduces all enemies' charge by 1. It has 2 overcharge effects. The first is to raise her NP damage on water fields first, so if there's no water field, you don't get this buff. And the second is that it does bonus damage versus lawful enemies, because she is Chaotic Summer. So do keep that in mind. You've got a couple steroid alternatives, but it is a charge down. Her first skill is that beautiful targetable 30 to 50% quick up for 3 turns, but it is also a 50 to 100% buster critical damage up for those turns as well. And her second skill is kind of one of those everything skills, so it's a team-wide 10 to 20% attack, 10 to 15% quick and buster up, and also gives her 5 to 15 stars per turn for 3 turns. So it's kind of a charisma, it's, team-wide and everything. But it does have a long cooldown. And then her third skill, her final skill, is that expected 33% targetable battery. It also gives the targeted servant 1 turn of big star absorb on buster. Like, very, very high. Well, which is funny, because rulers already have a pretty high star absorption, but yeah, it's super high. It also instantly generates 5 to 15 stars, based on your skill level. Her passives are also pretty good. She has both Magic Resistance EX and Goddess Core A, which means she has a full 50% passive debuff resist. Very useful for some content. If you're looking at some more cute trivia, there are a couple of other Goddess-type servants who have the same wombo combo. It's Kets, and I believe both Stheno and Urale have, like, this caliber. But yeah, so Summer Scotty's got a lot of that. The Goddess Core also gives her a slight passive damage plus. And she does have Territory Creation A, so her 1 arts card will hit pretty good. So it should be pretty obvious that while I have talked in previous videos about how all of the Summer SSRs this year are pretty quality in their own way, Summer Scotty is not as razor-focused on the dual Scotty system, TM, as her original. She doesn't have the NP gain up effect anywhere, which is one of the things that makes the double Scotty looping very effective. But there are a decent number of hybrid units that have kits designed to use both quick and buster cards, and Summer Scotty is real good at helping those guys. She's got a 65% total quick up, 15% for the team, and also 50% for a targeted buddy, both for 3 turns. She's got steady ways to generate stars with both quick bombs and stars per turn, and also she has 2 of her own quick cards with 4 hits, And she can also make allies buster crits really mean, because she's got, a 1-turn star absorb and a 3-turn crit damage up for 100, double critical damage on buster cards, 15% buster up. And she has a 50% battery, which is pretty good for a support unit. Also, her buffs to Quick do have some utility. As you hopefully know now, Quick did get a buff in our most recent anniversary, so if you put a Quick card first, you automatically get a chance to get some free crits in, even without using her, battery to also do the instant star bomb effect. So you could sneak some buster cards behind a Quick card to try and get some crits in, even without stars generated. So there is some interesting utility in the wombo combo of Quick and Buster. So I do want to say that I think Summer Scotty is better suited to either challenge content, CQs, or story bosses, or odd nodes. We have a lot of 90++ and 90+ nodes that are not 3/3/3, as in 3 enemies in each of the 3 waves. So you got to keep that in mind. She's got a free battery for big quick ups for an NP, but she can also juice an ally to do a lot of damage on follow-up crits. For a normal 3-turn 3-man wave farming, this is not ideal. Depending on what cards you have, you can sweep a wave of 3 guys with crits, but it's a little harder to force rather than just manually resetting NP and making sure you have enough damage to kill the wave. But this is ideal for enemies who have break bars, or a situation where you may be killing large waves first and then have fewer numbers of enemies after. If you have a wave of 3 guys, you generate a shitload of critical stars with a quick NP or some quick cards, and then we go around to the next one, you've got only 1 enemy who's got a big chunky HP, you can easily, with Summer Scotty, turn that around into giving a huge buster crit hit to kill that guy. So keep that in mind. However, I do also want to remind you, Summer Scotty has an offensive NP. She has an AoE quick NP, so you can just use her as the wave clearer. It's very similar to how I've discussed before, and hopefully people know, because while she is a limited unit, her rate ups are fucking forever. You can use normal Skahak as either the main damage dealer, because her damage output is super high, but also she has targetable buffs, so you can use her to support a second offensive unit while using her other stuff for utility, because she's already really strong in a single target sense. So Summer Hawk Scotty, I should say, has a very similar run there in that flex slot ability. So for team combat, it's really going to depend on what you're doing. Rulers usually get neutral damage. Summer Scotty has her own steroid. She has high NP gain and a 6-hit NP. So, I didn't do any double checking, but I'm pretty sure that you can pull off a dual Scotty with herself and, clear plenty of ads for normal summer farming. Like I said, she's kind of in the middle of Rulers. Rulers usually get neutral damage. She can juice herself to fucking 65% on quick, and her NP gain is already super high, so you should probably be able to double Scotty and go crazy, which is very funny, obviously. And for farming summer events especially, this is going to be perfectly fine. If you want to use her as semi-support, then any unit who has both green and red buffs will benefit, though again, most of her buster buffs are critical-oriented, so keep that in mind. Obviously, units who self-buff on, red will be fine, but you have to time it out so you can give them their, buster absorb buff, or just wait till you have all buster cards. For instance, consider, regular Saber Artoria, Conturnaler cards red. That's obviously not ideal with Scotty because that's oops all red, and like I said, Scotty's big on the quick, but it's one of those things where, you gotta either think out of the box, or you gotta carefully plan. Or use somebody who already wants crits anyway. There are, several Buster Berserkers who have, 1 turn of super big star absorb themselves to go with it, so you got some options. For CEs, you also have some options. If you're just going to use her to pass buffs to a buddy, like use her for off support and never fire her NP just like regular Scotty, you can cruise normal support CEs. Obviously, if you're farming an event like a summer, because past summer units are usually bonuses in future summer events, you can stick her with just drop CEs. You can stick her with something like, Ideal Holy King, give the whole team max HP up, or you can use the various EXP, Bond, etc. points up CEs, just increase your drop level. Also, if you're farming mats, could be a good excuse to use your mat farming CEs you're getting from your advanced quests. You are getting drop CEs from your advanced quests, right, Chad? But if you want to use her offensively, you also have a flex slot. She has her own 50% battery, so you can start with any of those CEs. I would probably go attack up, NP damage, quick, crit in that order, but any red-green combo is probably fine. And since her best pairing is with herself, you probably don't need a starting 50% because that's also 100% battery right there. So it's truly a flex slot. You could, go with other stuff. Decapitating Bunny, for instance, is a classic quick support CE, which gives you like 10% quick up and permanent pierce invul, which is not something that Scotty normally does. So that can be handy for certain fights if you are using her for like I said, more challenging content. She does have technically a stalling NP because it's got a charge down as its default effect. Though again, certainly, her overcharge effects are situationally useful, which again lends itself usually towards CQs or MSQ boss fights. But again, that means you've got all kinds of stuff. You can go for passive star generation, 2030s and the like. Very, very strong combinations potential. Now, for your other stuff zone. Unfortunately, Summer Scotty here is a ruler, which means while she doesn't need a lot of exotic mats, she's going to need a lot of normal mats. Ascension is going to be alternating statues and all of them. That can be troublesome for some of you. I think my statue stockpiles are pretty good myself, but I know some people have gone harder and maybe low on one or two statues, which obviously is going to be a problem because, as I said, she's going to need all of them. Skills are much the same way. You're going to need multiple flavors in each level. This can be a pain if you're not evened out. I know this is a problem I often have where, for some ungodly reason, I keep rolling hecking casters, so my caster gems, especially the blue ones, are eternally fucked, and some of my other gems are much more fine. But it does mean that, it can be a pain to handle. And at the end, once you get past where you normally, stop using yellow gems anyway, she's still going to need 12 shells and 15 cosmic eggs per skill as well, so, it's not going to be cheap. Now, Summer Scotty has about as many banners as Ibuki. Hopefully you watched the Wanted Summer Ibuki. One now, one next year to rerun all of the stuff in the summertime. And again, I suspect that another banner will be coming soon in JP. Like I said, they've still got 2 or 3 weeks of their prepare for summer campaign. Because one, they want story clearance, but also it's one of those things of they're using this as an excuse to rerun a lot of banners. So I'm thinking it'll be in there. So keep that in mind. Also, Lucky Bag GSSRs. She's a limited SSR. You got your opportunities. And that is going to be it. Sorry if parts of this were a little bit rushed yesterday, as of my recording this anyway. I had an 8-hour power outage, so we're a little squished for time. I probably would have worked on this, more stretched out, but I didn't have time for that. I was literally without power for 8 hours. No juice anywhere. Also, I was trying to brainstorm some kind of summer skibbity joke for the kids, but I guess I'm just not Rizzler enough for it. I'll just leave you with the cursed knowledge for that instead. If you want to hear us say more weird things, check out our Monday stream. We're back on Great Ace Attorney Chronicles right now on GAC. So check those out. Also, hopefully the thumbnail isn't too wonky. I had to flick through several assets to pick it. I really need F2 artists to stop drawing these ladies like they just finished one of those dramatic hair flips out of the pool. It makes the pixels all weird on my end. Also, I had to pick her costume because the expression sheets for her other ascensions all have those dumb icy fish in them, which have an icy aura, which also fucks with the pixels. So yeah, you get to see her costume right here. I could use the glasses one, but I wanted to use that for the in-video asset. Anyway, I'm just babbling now, even though I wanted to speed, so we're going to cut it and get on out of here. Like this video, leave your comments, join our Discord, join our channel memberships, ring the bell, subscribe. That's right, ring the bell before subscribing. I should probably say that the other way around. I did say to join channel memberships, though, because I want you to give me money first. Support us on Patreon. Get videos and audios early. Support us. Give us the juice. All right, I wish you happy rolling. Good luck to everybody. Go crazy. Have fun with Scotty and Summer Woo and getting all your CEs if you don't got them already. If you want to see how we're doing on stuff, you'll have to tune in to our podcast, Let's Talk FGO, every week. Records Friday, posts Saturday on YouTube for everybody. Once again, if you're a patron, you can hear it earlier at different states depending on how much of a patron you are. Speaking of which, I'm going to give more shout-outs to our patrons in a second, but first I'm going to play an audio outro. I don't know why I'm so, mechanical and business-like in this point. It's summer, everybody. Eat your ice cream. Relax. Hopefully you do not lose power and have to sit with 8 hours without air conditioning. At least it rained. Anyway, ciao. Speaking of our patrons, I'd like to shout out all of our patrons, but especially Adam DeHart, Blackluster G, Call Me Zed, Carlos Dragon, JDV9000, Just the Fae, Kaiser, Starlight, Legendary Boss Hunter, Rise of Kenji, Rogue Robin, Shriver, Some Guy Named Bob, Varian the Crow. Thank you very much for your support, everybody. If you want to see us do more, consider supporting us on Patreon. Get access to episodes early and other goodies. Thank you.